This is just a quick overview of our equipment maintenance features. So I'm starting off here on the tracking page where you can see all of your equipment. So now if I want to look at a particular piece of equipment, I can search for it. There's a number of different ways you can get to a piece of equipment, but I'm just going to go to equipment details. Now in here, of course, you have all of your usual information on the equipment plus specifications, parts, if you filled that information in. You also have a notes section, photos, documents, forms, and what we're looking for, maintenance. So you can see here for any piece of equipment, you can set up an hour meter and or an odometer. So now if I come in here and I want to see the history of the hour meters, I can click view hour meter history, and you can see I've got a little date range box to where I can set that. But I can just see in here all of my hour meter readings. If somebody was to make a mistake, add a reading that was wrong, you can come in here and remove them. You can also, of course, add meter readings from here. And that works pretty simply here. So you can just type in the reading. You can also set a date and time if you want to add a past meter reading in there, and it validates it to make sure that the reading's in line, and then it'll add it for you. So from there, come to preventative maintenance. And so in IVO, you can keep track of all your hour meter interval, preventative maintenance items. Same thing with date and odometer. You can also add fixed hour meter, odometer, and date PMs. So like say you have inspection due on the first of the year, you could enter that date in there so that then when it gets within the range of that date, it'll show up on your maintenance dashboard, which we'll get into a little later. But then you can see here you have the entire history of everything that was done to that machine. You can open it up here and view the actual work orders with all the details of what was done, including attachments and all of that stuff. So then from there, we go to the PM schedule tab. This is where you actually create those preventative maintenance items for a piece of equipment. So you can also see on here, if you were to click on PM history, it'll show you all the times that PM was last completed. You can also, if something was added in as a mistake, you can remove them here too. So then if you want to create a preventative maintenance item, you can just hit set up new PM, and then like I said, you can choose the type of PM. Then once you do that, you have some options. You can type in some details of what's involved with the PM that'll show up when a mechanic is adding it. Next, go to the maintenance dashboard, which is where you go to see all of your equipment that has service due. So you can see here, just on this hour meter PMs dashboard list, this shows you every piece of equipment that has that's within the parameters that you set for being notified. So I think for all of these PMs, we have it set to have them show up on this list when they're 40 hours away from being due. So you see they show up there. Same thing with odometers and date PMs, and then also forms will show up in here as well if you have a form that has uh, a listed exception on it. So next, I'm just going to go into some of the reports that are available. So one of the struggles with equipment maintenance, of course, is entering in up-to-date hour meter readings and odometers. And one way you can keep up with that is by using this hour meter report. So when you come in here, you can just look and you can sort by clicking the header, but you can just see here all the pieces of equipment and then the ones that have the oldest hour meter readings in the system, because those are the ones that you're probably going to have to go out and get manually, or if in a lot of instances it's just because the machine's sitting in the yard, you can just add a new reading in there to get it off your list. Additionally, for keeping up with hour meter readings, you can there's a company setting that you can turn on, where if a piece of equipment that has an hour meter on it has a reading that's older than 30 days, it will show this little exception icon here, just so that you can have a, a visual way to tell that without having to go into the hour meter report. So next, we'll go into the work order planner. And so this is where all of your maintenance work orders are. And so you can see them here. This page is going to show only work orders that are open or listed as work completed. So like say you want your mechanics to, when they're done with something, mark it as work completed so that somebody in the office can review it before you close out the work order. Like maybe you want to attach parts invoices or something like that, and you want some kind of a reminder that that work order has something that you need to do. So then you can see here, obviously it lists what piece of equipment it is. You have a priority that you can set. Then obviously you can assign people. You can see your work description, whether or not there's an hour meter or odometer attached, any attachments. And you can also filter, so search here by mechanic and see what's assigned to them, and then also any, you can filter by work orders that aren't assigned to anybody as well. Additionally, you can search by equipment number or equipment name to really kind of quickly get to what you're looking for. Now, for your mechanics, and then also out in the field, in particular if you're on your phone, it could be really handy to have them view their work orders, which lists all of the work orders that are assigned to them. Or if you're an admin, it shows them all. So from here, you can just really quickly get in there and handle a work order. Additionally, one of the things we see all the time is a mechanic, say they brought in a machine, or somebody called a machine, they want to look up the details of when it was last serviced or whatever. They can search by serial number, equipment number, whatever, and then it'll show up here. It'll show the equipment location within IVO system. And from there, they can add hour meter readings, they can add work orders, they can quick add a PM, which is, I'll just show that really quick here. So you can just select the piece of equipment, select quick add PM, Then you can choose the PM, and then it takes you right to where you can add a note for that work order so they can type in what they did, then the hour meter that it was done at, and date. And then if you hit quick add PM, it adds a work order, attaches the preventative maintenance item to it, attaches the hour meter, and then it closes out that work order so that you have the history, and it also resets the clock on that preventative maintenance item. And this is really handy for, we see a lot that mechanics will just have, done an engine oil change or a simple engine oil change, and just want to go in there and reset that quickly, because in a lot of cases there's not a lot of other information that you need to put on that work order. It's just the oil change. So you can do that quickly as opposed to creating a work order, attaching hour meter, attaching PM. You can do it all in one quick little form. That's an overview of pretty much everything having to do with maintenance. You can see there should be some other videos in here that uh, show more detail on particular parts of the system. But that's all for now. If you have any questions, please give us a call or send us an email. We'd be happy to uh, go over maintenance with you. Also, when you're getting set up initially or later on, if you have a bunch of hour meter readings or work orders or anything like that that you would like to import, including preventative maintenance items, we can import all of that stuff for you if you work with us, and we put together some spreadsheets that could save you a lot of data entry time. Thank you.